And finally, rods. Yeah, so I've got lots of rods. Probably at least 2 dozen, maybe 3 dozen. Everything from ultralight all the way up to some, I think my longest surf rod I have there is maybe 8 or 9 feet. I'll touch briefly on what I have and why I have it. So for ultralight, I've always been an ultralight fisherman. I grew up fishing ponds and catching bluegills and things for starter, and I just love it. It's very relaxing to me, and I also use a lot of those fish now for bait, especially for catfish. So ultralight is something that I fished for many years. And I would tell you, it's probably something, if you fish a lot, you should just kind of at least have one and bring it with you often, because sometimes the fish aren't biting and it's getting frustrating and you just, want to feel like you catch something. And ultralight will often save the day. I mean, mostly you're going to catch smaller fish with them, but I've caught bigger fish on them occasionally up to, 5 or 6 pounds, which is a surprise and a good fight. And it's a good way to kind of keep your fishing skills sharp if you can catch bigger fish on smaller rods. So my favorite brand of ultralight, or if you want a really good starter combo, are these Pflueger try-on combos. You get them for I think $60 for both the rod and the reel at Bass Pro Shops. It's a great starter set, and it'll last you a couple years of good hard fishing. Gradually I've upgraded some of them. I think my fanciest one I have right now, this is also Pflueger. It's a President series reel, so kind of a higher grade reel. And then it's paired with a St. Croix panfish series rod. And if you're not familiar with St. Croix, they're like the Cadillac of fishing rods. They're made in the U.S., really nice quality. They're pricey though, but they're excellent rods. I think that this combo here is honestly one of my more expensive ones. It's probably at least $250 between the reel and the rod, maybe a little bit more. I have a lot of fishing gear. At this point in my life, I don't buy the cheapest anymore. Can't afford quite the most expensive, just because the quantity of things that I have. But gradually, if you take care of things, you can upgrade them over time, sell the old ones or use them for parts or something like that. But back to other things I have. I've got a nice Bass Pro combo here. This is a Johnny Morrison Carbon Light rod. I like the rod a lot. The reel's been okay. It's so it's a, elite Bass Pro reel. Here's another rod and reel combo. The rod's from a local manufacturer, Cash and Rods. They make really nice rods, and this one I caught my personal best crappie on. The reel is another Bass Pro reel. So one of the reasons I started buying a lot of Bass Pro stuff is they are fairly close to my house. They're maybe 20 minutes away. Plus the warranty on their own gear, some of the rods and reels they produce is pretty hard to beat. I think it's it's either a 7 or 10 year warranty, which is almost unheard of in the fishing industry. Most of the time you get a 1 year warranty. And I've had some other things with longer warranties. So for example, I had some rods made by, let's say this is an HMG series rod by Fenwick. And last spring I broke one of the rods while fishing. Just a fish snapped it, and they have a lifetime warranty, and I went to make a claim, and it took months to get a replacement rod under warranty, and it was just a really disappointing experience. So in the meantime, I bought a Bass Pro rod, and actually had I'm not normally this abusive to my equipment, but I had a fish break the tip off that rod. Actually, an eyelet came loose, sorry. And I just brought it to a local Bass Pro store out of state, showed them my receipt, which I had scanned, and they let me pick out a new rod right away, no questions asked. And that to me was just, light bulb went off and said, why am I paying for other brands if I can just get something where the customer service experience is so much better and it's easier to replace things that I accidentally break. So started buying a lot more Bass Pro gear, and that's the reason why. Okay, so back to the tour. I've got a lot of Pflueger reels, and I replaced all these at one time. They are 30 and 35 series, and I use those a lot for bass fishing or smaller catfish like channel catfish. And they're paired with an assortment of different rods. I've got some more carbon light rods. This is a Johnny Morrison Signature Series, a little bit heavier one that I use sometimes for pier fishing. And then, yeah, we've got the last of the Fenwick HMG. I got so irritated with Fenwick that they did eventually send me a replacement rod, and I sold it right away. Just didn't even want to have it anymore, so I sold it. Obviously got rid of the broken one, and so I'm phasing those out. They're really nice rods. I do like them, and they're good quality, and they work pretty well. But again, when it comes to honoring warranties, if you're going to drag your feet, and I can't be without one of my favorite poles for months at a time, I don't need that hassle, and so I'm gonna move on to something that's easier to deal with. Okay, so other things I have here, I do a lot of trolling. These are Abu Garcia Ambassador 55 series reels with line counters. Sorry for bringing things back and forth so much. So I do long line crappie trolling in the warmer months, so we'll start to do that next couple of weeks, and I'll show you my setup for that. I've experimented with a couple different types of reels, and I went to the Abu Garcias because the previous ones I had, the drags didn't work as smoothly, and so I just decided to pay a little bit more and get a better quality reel. So far I've been very happy with those. Their Abu Garcia Ambassador reels are known to be very good quality, and so spent a little bit extra money, and I think I got what I paid for there. You can maybe tell too that a lot of the reels, the smaller ones that I have, the ultralights, I like to fish with monofilament most of the time. 4-pound line, and my preferred line is Berkeley Tri-Line XL. I've just used that for years, so that's on most of my reels. The bigger ones that I use for multi-species, I like to use braid, and so I normally have it with 30-pound braid, and my favorite is Power Pro Super Slick 8. So that's what I have in different colors, most of them here. All right, sorry, I know we're jumping around a little bit. If you have questions about anything, just put something in the comments. I'll be glad to explain or go more in depth. I bought these, I guess, last year. These are Penn, oh my God, why do I not know the names for anything? Penn Battle 3 combos that I bought at Bass Pro. I think they run about 180 bucks a piece. It's a 5,000 series reel. So right now I have 20-pound monofilament, obviously very bright colors on all of them. These are really versatile rods that I've used. I basically fish a spot on the Cape Fear River that has catfish in the 5 to maybe 30-pound class, and I found that when I was catching some of the larger ones, I really just couldn't use my smaller medium size spinning combos anymore because they were overpowering the rods. You know, you catch a 10, 15, 20-pound fish, and you really just need to have something beefier to bring it in, especially if there's any sort of current. So I decided to buy a couple of these Battle 3 combos, and I've been really happy with them. It's Penn reels, so it's good quality. They're tough and durable. They work really well for fish in the, I'd say, 10 to 30-pound class. Once you go over that, you really need something a bit beefier. But I've been happy with those, and obviously I own a lot of them, which speaks as to their quality. So it's again 5,000 series reel paired with, I think the rods are 7 feet long, and they work really well for my purposes. Over here we have like kind of a mishmash of rods. I keep some push button rods for my kids, which they'll fish with me occasionally, or I'll have a guest that just needs something simpler. And this is where I keep the beefy stuff. Again, all Penn reels here. What I have right now, this is mostly catfishing gear with some saltwater spinning gear. And as far as other rods and reels, got a brand new Hellcat that just bought Jess. That's made by Catch the Fever, and that's a heavy action, and I find it to be pretty good so far. 7 feet long. I've got a pair of custom rods that I've, let's see, what do I have? These are Squall 2 30 size line counter reels, and these are on custom rods that I had made from Casey's Custom Rods in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So Casey I found on Etsy a couple of years ago when I was looking to get rods done for a Christmas gift for Jess, and basically told him what I wanted, and he said, okay, well, just let me know which colors you want and I'll make you a custom rod. So Jess liked purple and green, and so he made a custom rod for her. So we've got wraps here, and then it just goes into, I mean, look at the detail. I'm a Carolina graduate, so he made me a Carolina rod with Carolina blue thread and white. And I mean, really nice detail. Puts on a custom label for you here. So this is Jess's Catfish Specials with a label. And these are really nice rods. They're definitely my favorite ones to fish with. I've caught big catfish up to, I don't know, 52 pounds on them. Caught red drum on them this past fall, and I think they can handle a fish up to 150 pounds, so I'm gonna keep pushing to see what I can catch on them. But other things that I've got a couple of different Ugly Stick branded rods. This is an Ugly Stick Tiger Light rod, which I can't really find anymore, but I like the grip on it a lot. It's nice, this nice cork grip, and it's a good rod. I've got another Ugly Stick rod, a big water rod. I think it's another 7-foot rod. It's a little bit heavier and stiffer, but it's built, very well, Ugly Stick quality. And then the last two things I've got a pair of Penn Fierce 3 spinning reels. This is 8000 series, and the reason I went with these, again, I like Penn a lot, but they also have the bait runner features, which will let you throw either live or cut bait out, and this is essentially a smaller drag. So if you get a big fish, it can run out without jerking your pole over the pier or out of the sand spike that you have, and then when you start to reel, it disengages and it goes to the main drag up top. So it's a really nice feature to have if you fish with bait a lot, and I think that's the basics. So thanks for sticking around. If you listen to that, I'm glad to answer any questions that you have. I'll do some more shorter and less jumbly videos of some of the individual components and why I use them or how I use them or how I put them together in the future. So thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, please like and subscribe. And again, welcome any questions that you have about anything you saw. Thanks.